work on data visualization or InfoViz, and these will be back to the basics. I'm surprised we haven't touched on this a little bit earlier, though I think we did touch on dashboards a bit. These are relatively straightforward, may be tough as a team exercise, but you can certainly find ways. If you're working as a team, let me know, and I will do my best to help you think of ideas of how to integrate. It could just be expansion of some of the assumptions here. So instead of picking any set of fictional or real estate data, maybe you can actually go do something to collect the data. And from a development perspective, you could potentially build these out in some platform you want to explore, or a language you'd like to explore, I should say. But yeah, design a clean, readable bar chart showing the sales data. So pick some sales data, use a bar chart. And if you don't like sales data, pick something along the same lines that would be meaningful to communicate as a bar chart. And I think that's the big challenge here, is it's not necessarily creating the bar chart itself, but it is finding data that's good to represent as a bar chart and then communicating it well as a bar chart. As an odd bonus here, try horizontal and vertical and see which is easier to understand. I'll put a link here for the topic of information visualization on IXDF, but this is just a very, very common topic that you can explore in many different ways, and I encourage you to go out there and do that. Certain things you want to communicate as a bar chart and certain things that you don't, and there is a little bit of a gray area, but look into that and find some data that fits the bar chart, something meaningful to communicate by way of a bar chart. So that's day one. Day two, create an infographic for a health-related topic. So choose a health-related statistic or topic, benefits drinking water, sleep statistics, hard facts, and design a one-page infographic to explain it visually. So this is a little bit more about using InfoViz and data visualization to tell a story. And I would say pick 2 to 3, maybe 4 key points, minimal text, clear hierarchy, and if it fits, integrate your bar chart from day one. You can go back and do that retroactively. But think as creatively or as simply as you need to in order to communicate to the audience. I know there's a time, and we still do this quite a bit, that it was trendy to build these long flowing information visualizations that told a whole story and expose you to data within a topic over a narrative. And you're certainly welcome to do that if you have the time and energy. But if this is new to you and you're exploring it, you pick something that has 2 really key points that work with each other and play off each other well and tell a bigger story, and pull them together into some sort of one-page InfoViz. Day 3, sketch a dashboard layout for a monitoring app performance. So sketch a wireframe of a dashboard that shows the app's performance metrics. So active users, crash reports, user retention. Focus on grouping related info together, prioritizing the most important data, and keeping the design uncluttered. I mean, those are the key points of building a dashboard. The challenge with a dashboard in building one is that the question is always, does this need to be a dashboard? And so something for monitoring app performance, so someone looking at the key performance needs of an app and evaluating whether it's on target, whether it's stressing out, whether it's whether it's experiencing crashes, things of that nature, whether it's retaining users. Something that you would look at regularly to see how the dashboard or how the app is performing. It makes sense potentially to have it as a dashboard. So Give it a shot. But included a link here about dashboards that you can check out. It'll help explain that if it's something that you haven't explored before. But yeah, pick a specific app, or this could actually be the way this is framed. This could be for something more general. But yeah, just give it a try. This is an opportunity to explore how to build a dashboard, design a dashboard. Day 4, design a line graph showing monthly growth. You can create a simple line graph that shows growth over a 12-month period. Clearly labeled X, Y axis, make readable data points, and make it a smooth line progression instead of a point-to-point progression. In that chart, mark milestones. So mark important points over that timeline that may point to times in the story of the year where memorable things happened, or that may align with important things for whatever organization needs to see this chart. So it could be that it was the launch of a product, or it could be that there was a major fundraiser that happened at that time. But think about those important things that help tell the story. And sometimes it means looking at the chart and saying, well, why was there this dip? And then either pointing out in that dip why there was a dip, or leading up to that why there was a dip. It may be that there was a period of rapid change and you want to point out why that's happening. But start asking questions about the graph in front of you, and then answering those questions, and then thinking, well, which one of these is really salient? Which one's really important? Which one do I need to potentially add a highlight to, so that people understand, and add context to their understanding of what the chart is communicating, and actually what happened over that time. Day 5, and all of these should take about an hour. I'm going to live edit here. Use color to highlight data points in a chart. So take any chart you've created this week and apply a color strategy. Use color to draw attention to highs, lows, key moments. Ensure it remains accessible. That's good contrast. It's colorblind friendly. Create a color legend that explains what each color means. And that's important if you're using symbols, if you're using specific thicknesses of line, if you're using specific shapes, if you're using specific colors in your charts or graphs, make a point of creating a legend that spells out each of those. That is it for this week. If you've never dived into InfoVis, this should take you the full time, an hour a day, 5 hours for the full week. If you add interactivity to these or embellish them at all, you could certainly take up the time. But this is a good intro to InfoVis, and a challenge that you can build for yourself if you're experienced in it. And I look forward to seeing what people produce.